Good morning. Second day of day 5 in this 9th wave. This is the time of budding. So the buds are forming. You know, it's amazing to me that I'm as awake as I am. I stayed up working on my emails and stuff till actually past midnight last night, and I was still awake. I looked at the clock. I went to bed a little bit after midnight, but I remember looking at the clock. It was 10 minutes to 1 was the last time I looked at the clock, and then I wake up just like 10 minutes after 3. It's hardly enough sleep, and yet I could not fall back to sleep. I've actually been out of bed since between 3:30 and 3:45. Tremendous meditation this morning, and as I said, I can't believe how wide awake and alert my mind is and my being is. I mean, I'm just getting so much information as I ponder various things and watch the flow of my thoughts and feel my own energy in my body moving. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I've made a title for this morning that's going to sound a little bit strange. I called it Harmonic Defiance, Awakening to Greatness. And I wrote a little blurb, as I normally do. How can one be defiant and yet in harmony? Sounds like a challenge, doesn't it? Imagine two forces at work. One is your past, the other your future. They converge in the now. The past would keep you enslaved to the way it has always seemed to be. The future would liberate you to create a new way of being. Right here, right now, we are each making the choice. Which will we embrace? I choose to be in harmony with where we are going and to defy the past from recreating itself in the future. I see the human family as destined for greatness. And I get to talk to each of you every day that listen, to remind you that that's what's going on. In this 9th wave, we do literally stand at the threshold of our greater destiny, but we stand in the valley of decision for our soul to make. What do you want? Do you want to recreate the way it has always been? Or do you wish to create a world of peace, a world where everyone prospers, a world where truth reigns supreme and lies are difficult instead of the other way around? Are you envisioning, as I am, a world where everyone genuinely loves everyone else enough to be authentic and truthful and real? Can you see as I see that the way it has been is not how it's going to continue to be, because I am waking up? That's why I know it's not going to be that way for me. I am waking up. And I get enough emails from y'all to know that many of you are waking up too. Now, it's interesting because my video that I did a week ago today, I didn't look at it, the numbers this morning, but it had over 6,000 views before I went to bed last night. At some point I checked and it was over 6,000 views in a week. Actually, it hadn't even been up a full week yet. and it's been picked up by several other websites, and it's just going, it's taking a life of its own. And of course that's the one about the Supreme Court ruling, and I wish people would listen to part 2 of what I did. I did a second one on the Supreme Court on Tuesday last week that explained a lot of what I wasn't able to explain because of time limitations in part 1. But this one certainly caught people's attention, and I've got a lot of people trying to educate me about citizenry and sovereignty and stuff like that, like I haven't studied that stuff. I mean, that's what I've been studying for the last several years. Last few years anyway, heavily of my life. I mean, have been dedicated to sovereignty. Because, folks, listen to me. The human race is being given the choice to become fully sovereign, which means our divinity and our humanity are merging, creating literally in that union a new humanity is being birthed. And it's being birthed inside of each one of us. I'm convinced, just from the things that I'm feeling in my very physical being, in my body, I'm sensing that changes are taking place. There's a mutation taking place in my flesh. And I can also see it, of course, in my mind and how I'm able to perceive things at a different level. Now, you may want to keep on hanging on to the way it's always been. And if that's where you are, that's the role you're playing, I love you anyway. I accept that that's where you are, and you're allowed. You're allowed to play that. But that's not where the human race is headed. The human race is not headed toward maintaining the status quo. There is a new world order coming. Hey, folks, get used to it. It's not going to be the way it's always been. There is a new world order. The question is it going to be a new world order based on the past control systems, based on the human enslavement, based on limitation thinking, based on separation consciousness, or is it going to be a new world order based on love, based on truth, based on compassion, based on giving everyone a fair chance and a fair shake, leveling the playing field so that everyone can prosper and be in health and experience wealth and experience creativity as we've never been able to experience creativity before, a new birth of a new renaissance that takes place within us individually and collectively. Which world do you see? Which world are you moving towards? You people that are arguing with me about citizen, I'm a citizen of a free republic. And it's an eternal citizenship. And it has nothing to do with the words of the old meanings. Forget that crap, folks. Don't get stuck in the old meanings. Embrace the new meanings. It's not the world that's defining where I am. I'm defining where I am by paying attention to what's going on in my heart and in my soul and in my mind. I'm paying attention to it. I'm listening. I'm listening to the voice of my heart. And if you resonate with what I'm saying, you're listening to your heart. You're letting your mind be renewed. You're letting your body be rejuvenated. And it doesn't matter what it looks like right now or in any given moment. It's a movement. We're moving in a direct, full persons of a new order. Forget the definition of a person in the old order. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's why they shifted me in doing my brief for the appeal. They shifted me. Why? Because I was trying to make it fit in the old way of doing things, and the old doesn't fit in the new. It's new wine that's being poured in. And it can't be poured into the old wineskins because it'll break the wineskins, to use the analogy that Jesus made a couple of thousand years ago, at the beginning of the Piscean age. Okay, this is the Aquarian age. Different wineskins are needed. A different pattern is required. Different definitions of words are required. Hear me. It doesn't matter how things were before. We're moving into something new. And I'm in harmonic defiance. I defy the old to maintain its grip on me. I defy it. I say, no, you cannot. You cannot hold on to me, because something greater is pulling me forward to where I'm going, not holding me back to where I've been. Can you hear me? Can your heart hear me? We're moving in a totally different direction. We're awakening to our own power, to our own greatness, to our own abundance, to our own wealth, to our own wisdom. We're awakening to a new world order that is being birthed within us as the humanity itself mutates into a higher consciousness, a higher way of thinking. And if you're trying to hold on to the way it was, whether it's in religion, whether it's in politics, whether it's in business and commerce, no matter what it's in, if you're trying to maintain the way it was, you're fighting a losing battle, because I'm telling you, that's not where the energy of the planet is going. That's not where the energy of the cosmos is going. And that's not where the energy of awakening humanity is going. If you want to stay there, you're going to be graced. So great a love that you're going to be able to go into a world that's going to look like the world that you want, where some people can control other people, and nobody really knows who they are. Everybody's in bondage, even the ones that are supposedly at the top of the pyramid. They're still in bondage because they're not in love. They're not in light. They're in darkened, not enlightened. And all works together for good. In my world, there's no warfare going on in that. Oh yeah, there's defiance, but it's not the same thing, because I come from a place where I can embrace and understand, stand under the concept and the knowledge that this has all been part of my good. This is all stuff that I gave to myself, gifts that I gave to me so that I would wake up, so that I would recognize the injustice, so that I would understand what justice is. I couldn't understand justice until I first got the concept of injustice, because I totally forgot, just like the rest of us. That's our past. Our future is totally remembering and bringing all the pieces back together so that we can become whole again for the very first time. And I say again, because we are infinite and eternal beings. In the beginning we were whole. We came out of wholeness. And we dropped into the apparent not wholeness. But we're remembering and becoming whole again for the very first time. This is the evolution of our consciousness. This is the ninth wave. This is why the underworlds are being opened. This is why everything is falling apart. Everything that can be shaken is being shaken. Why? Because a new heaven and a new earth are being created within us, within our very consciousness. And that our very new consciousness will give birth to a very new world order. Not one run by George Bush and the Illuminati, but one run by the Illuminati that is truly illuminated. Where Masons wake up, where the Catholic Church wakes up, where everything in the old has the opportunity to awaken and create with the rest of us something brand new. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Nobody's rejected. Nobody's left out. Harmonic defiance. Are you awakening to your greatness as I am to mine? I hope so. Namaste.